Macbeth, a modern interpretation. The modern interpretation of William Shakespeare's Macbeth, created by Australian director Justin Kurzel in 2015, retells the story of Scottish nobleman Macbeth as he goes through a process of corruption in order to fulfill his ambitions to become powerful. Macbeth starts the story as a Thane, and after he visits three witches who promise him more power, he attempts to make sure these prophecies become realities. Blinded by his own ambition, Macbeth takes extreme measures, some of which he considers immoral, in order to gain the power he has been promised. Director Justin Kurzel, in his 2015 film Macbeth, uses strategies such as dark lighting, sound effects, and setting in order to demonstrate the process Macbeth goes through to murder King Duncan. Kurzel uses lighting to create a depressing mood that shows the presence of death in the play, adapting the theatrical features of the play to fit a more modern audience. For his interpretation, Kurzel adapts the setting to appear more modern, while maintaining the original messages of the play. Kurzel uses cinematic and theatrical elements to create a certain mood in the audience. He emphasizes the theme of death that is present at all moments during the play. In order to do this, he chooses to create a scene with dark lighting, where the only light there is created by fires. The darkness in the scene of Duncan's murder emphasizes the depressing mood suggesting death in the play, at the same time foreshadowing Duncan's death, since most of the scene is shown in dark tones or black. The color black or the darkness symbolizes death, which is the feeling the author is trying to convey. At the same time, the light created by the fires makes the scene appear in red tones, which also suggests death, heat, and danger. This way, the director uses the color red to appeal to the audience's feelings, since the color red gives them an idea of danger and violence, and they are able to predict the violence and death that will occur in the scene. Additionally, the color red can symbolize rage and violence, since it resembles the color of blood. Also, the director of the film uses sound techniques in order to demonstrate the process that Macbeth goes through as he decides to kill King Duncan. He creates a scene in which Macbeth's dagger speech is played as he is murdering the king, so it is evident to the audience that Macbeth is going through a process by which he becomes immoral and corrupted in his search for power. The sound played during Duncan's murder is the dagger speech, a monologue in which Macbeth expresses that he is being summoned to commit the murder of Duncan. As the dagger speech comes to an end, Macbeth finishes by stabbing Duncan to death. The director decides to make the dagger speech and the murder parallel, in order to make the audience believe that Macbeth has murdered the king because he felt summoned by an imaginary dagger, product of his ambition and paranoia. Additionally, the symbol of the dagger, which is present in the play, is kept in the movie. The director chooses to use this object as a symbol since his goal is to demonstrate how Macbeth believes that his actions are out of his control. The dagger symbolizes Macbeth's paranoia. He expresses that he feels summoned by the dagger, meaning that his paranoia is what brings him to commit the murder of King Duncan. Kurzel chooses to emphasize the symbol of the dagger in order to show the process of Macbeth being convinced of murdering Duncan. During the scene of the dagger speech, the camera focuses on the dagger with the handle pointing towards Macbeth, making the audience view it as if Macbeth is being tempted to do something he considers morally wrong. As the camera switches focus to the dagger pointing towards Macbeth, as if it were being offered, the audience views it as a force that drives Macbeth to commit the murder, which is the same thing he does in the play. Macbeth blames the dagger for summoning him to become corrupted. Kurzel decides to keep the symbol of the dagger in order to show how Macbeth's paranoia, symbolized by the dagger, is what drives him into murdering the king. Furthermore, the film created by Justin Kurzel is relevant today, since certain theatrical elements have been modified in order to fit a more modern audience. Even though the dialogue from the play is not changed, the setting of the movie is adapted to appeal to a modern audience. The characters are not dressed in medieval clothing or live in castles, which makes the war in the movie appear more like a modern war. However, even though the setting is adapted to appear more modern, the director succeeds in keeping the main messages of the play as originally written by William Shakespeare. The dialogue of the original play is not changed, which allows the film to convey the feelings the characters of the play express. In addition, the symbolism of the play is not varied, which supports the movie's ability to convey the central messages of the original play, including the paranoia that strongly influences Macbeth's actions and decisions. To conclude, Justin Kurcell's work reflects a modern interpretation of the play Macbeth by William Shakespeare, as it is a unique interpretation that at the same time conveys the original messages of the play. In his interpretation of the drama, Kurcell uses elements such as colors to convey feelings, symbolism, and a modern setting in order to ensure that his work remains relevant to a modern audience.
Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth that shall be king hereafter.